Yeah. So can we have introduction so that we can have a discussion based on that? Yeah. We'll start with the Amber. Amber, can you please go ahead?
I'm sorry. This is, by the way, this is, I don't know. I'm using my wife's iPad, so I think it is on my wife's name right now. This is Umer Iqbal, by the way. I do have, I'm currently using Informatica Power Center, and I am an experienced professional. I have been in information technology for more than 10 years, and Informatica Power Center is my core expertise. The reason that I am looking forward, because my organization is leaning towards, or they they want to start IDMC, or so I just want to get my hands on to this tool. I have worked on different projects: data integration, data migration, data warehousing, use different databases like Oracle, SQL Server, DB2. Yeah, this is pretty much like from me, I think, in terms of introduction. Yeah,
Okay.
that is for.
Okay, thank you very much. So actually, you know what, as part of this particular training program, so we are going to focus on IICS data integration and, if possible, cloud application integration. So these two services will be covered as part of this particular program. Is that okay with you, Umar?
Yeah, definitely. So I have no knowledge on this cloud implementation of this Informatica, but I am okay. I think I have gone through the curriculum that they have shared. Um,
Okay.
it looks okay, yes, to me. I think,
Yeah,
yes, we can do
fantastic, Umar. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
it.
Sagarika, can you please go ahead?
Hi. Actually, I'm new to this IT industry. A few months back, I just took a training of Informatica Power Center. So, I have no experience, any job, like professional experience. But like after taking the interview, when sorry, taking the training, I just when I started marketing, they are looking for IICS experience. So I'm thinking to
Yeah, good,
just
Sagarika. So it's fine. So we just have to start from the basics. Anyway, Umar is also, though he has got experience in power center and other
Mhm.
IT side, but he is also new to this IACS and IDMC. I think we're all the beginners to this particular IACS, right, or IDMC, right?
I'm also kind of power center, like I know some thing, but it's like a few months back I took the training and took a break of 7 8 months, so maybe I have forgotten a little bit things, but yeah, I can just if it is very necessary for ISCS to know the power center, so I can just brush up the things
Yeah,
one more time.
but anyway, I can just revise that so that definitely it is going to be an added advantage because some of the features that are supported by Power Center will be
Hmm.
used in IICS. Apart from that, we also have got some extra capabilities. So those things also we are going to talk as part of this particular training program. Yeah, fine. Anyway, so thank you very much to both of you. So we'll have a basic introductory session today, and then from tomorrow we'll get into practical examples. Yeah, fine. So let me share my desktop. Yeah. So the first and foremost thing is to start with. See, first of all, we need to understand like where exactly this particular what IICS data integration comes in, right? Let us understand that basic concept. Then we'll pitch into the details of like what are the features that are offered by Informatica Cloud data integration. Then, for each of those features, we are going to get into what practical examples and see the essence of each of the feature in the context of what different real world scenarios. So that is going to be the plan of this particular training program. Yeah. Now let us understand the life cycle that we have within this information management, where the first and foremost thing that we have is an access layer. Yeah. So then we have discover layer. I think this you'll be knowing it, but let me try to cover, because the reason why I'm trying to start with this particular topic is that we need to understand like where do we have, or where do we stand with respect to what data integration. So because we need to get a broader perspective, because Umar is from what are more than 10 years of experience, right? So people of such experience, they need to know, or they need to have expertise on this particular flow of understanding. That's why I'm trying to cover this particular topic. Yeah. And then we have a cleanse layer, then followed by MDM, then followed by what integration. Yeah. So then we have a deliver layer. Finally, we're going to send the result of this particular deliver to a final target, which we call enterprise data warehouse, right? So that's it. So this is the simple way to understand like where do we start, and what all we do, and where do we end up. So that's what we can see as part of this particular complete flow. Yeah. I'll just try to talk about it at high level perspective, because we should not dig into the details at this particular stage, because yeah, this is very much required, especially if you play a role of designer or architect or solution provider. For those people, this particular complete broader perspective is going to help us a lot. Yeah. So the first thing is that access layer. Remember, see, access layer, as the name suggests, we can also call it as what reader layer, which is going to help us in order to pull or read the data from the source system. Yeah. So in the sense, let us say, see, from the source systems, data could be of any kind. I'll just try to list out the broader categories. The first and foremost thing is what? Structured data. And second category would be unstructured data. And third category is application-oriented data. Then we have a legacy. And last one is going to be what? Artificial intelligence or machine learning data, which is emerging thing in the market, but still it is not that great when it comes to what Informatica product suite. Yeah, Informatica product suite in the sense it could be either Power Center or data quality or MDM or IICS, whatever. Yeah. So in that perspective, I was trying to talk. Yeah. Now, I'll just talk about one simple example for each of those categories. The first thing is what? Structured data. If the input data that has been represented in what you call consistent format. For instance, let us say we got a file that would contain, let's say, 3 columns. So like C1, C2, and C3. And data is, let us say, 1, comma 2, comma 3, and 4, comma 5, comma 6, and so on. Yeah. So which means now you guys can tell me, just by looking at this particular data, can we say that this particular data is a structured data or not? So let's make it interactive. So you guys can start asking any kind of question at any time. As I'm supposed to answer, and I'll definitely answer your questions. Yeah. So yeah, now you guys can tell me, just by looking at this particular sample data, can we consider this particular sample data would fall under the category of structured or not?
Correct. So unstructured data, I would assume there are some kind of, yeah, this falls under structured because it is already following its structure, the pattern, and the delimiter is defined properly, and the data is inconsistent with its
Format.
data, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. Sarika, you want to say something?
No, it's okay.
Fine. Perfect. So now, yeah, what you said is perfect, Amar. This is a structured data. The reason being uh, format, you know, so which means format is a consistency across all the rows. Now, how do you express the format in this particular input data? Answer is what? The format would be expressed based on what? One, column delimiters. Let us start with the first one, which is going to be the column delimiter. What is the column delimiter here? We got a comma. Then,
Comma.
yeah, you can see what in between 1 and 2, comma, 2 and 3, comma, which means all the fields are in between each of those fields, right? The separator is what? Comma, right? So all the rows are following the same format, which is it's especially with respect to column format, which is a comma, right? Or column separator. Now tell me, this format would also be expressed in terms of what? Row. So what is a row separator or row delimiter that we have in this particular input data? What is that?
It's a
It's a new
comma.
line.
Comma.
It's a new line.
A new line.
Row, right? So this is
Yeah,
a complete row.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. So this is a new line. So new line we can express in this way, right? Yes or no? Now,
Yes.
format can also be expressed based on what? End of file marker, which is, see, every file should have been ended with something. Yes or no? So now the question, this is a file, right? It is ended with what? A new line, or let us say empty, or we can also call it as what? End of file marker. That's it. Which means what? These are the three things which are part of the format. So all are satisfied of what is required for this particular structure definition. As a result, we can say that this particular data would be part of what? Structured data, right? So that's it. That's going to be the first thing. Now let me give another example. Let us say we got a table or relational table. Now, in this case, let's say we got two fields or two columns, namely C1 and C2, and then corresponding rows. Let's say R1, R2, and in this case, let's say sample data is, let's say, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, tell me, just by looking at this particular relational table data, can we say that this particular data is part of structured or not? I hope you got the question right.
So the relational database is stored, the data is stored in the column level, right? So it does not have a concept of delimiter in the database, right? It's storing this value in its column, and the columns are not represented in a table delimiter itself. You do load the data into its respective column itself.
Right. Fine. So answer is what? Yes, it's a structured data. But on what basis we can say that this is structured data? Answer is what? See, if you take either table or a view or any DB objects rather, right? They're all part of what? One specification, which we call RDBMS specification. So, which is relational data management specification. Meaning what? If you say specification, there is going to be predefined template or predefined standard that we all need to follow. For instance, if you take Oracle database or DB2 or Informatics or any other database rather, they all would follow what? RDBMS guidelines or RDBMS, what you call specification. Remember that. So meaning what? If they say or if they claim that they follow what you call RDBMS specification, they should be in line with what? Whatever standards or whatever guidelines that have been defined by what this particular RDBMS. Then only they can say that who are the Oracle people or DB2 or whatever, right? They can say that their database is what? RDBMS database. Remember that. Meaning what? Template means predefined instructions. Predefined instructions means we just have to follow step by step. Let's say step 1, we have to do this. Step 2, we have to do something else, and so on. Yeah. If they have that, then they can say that their database is what? RDBMS database. Yeah. Now the question, one of the guideline that would be followed by RDBMS is what? Matrix. Yeah. What does it contain? So let us say if you want to pull the data corresponding to grid 1 or column 1 and row 1, right? We express it by using what? Row 1 belonging to column 1, so that we could able to pull data corresponds to grid 1, which is what? 1. Yeah. So same procedure need to be repeated in order to pull the data from what? Other column corresponding to relevant row. That's it. So which means what? Matrix is one of the guideline that would be followed as part of this particular RDBMS. Likewise, we can think of several examples where RDBMS would contain several what? Guidelines. As a result, we can say that whatever data that we have under this particular table, right? It is part of what? Structured data. Hmm? That's it. Simple. That's a major reason why we call it as what? Structured data. Clear, right? Now let me give another example, which is going to be XML. So that's what we are going to use quite a lot in IICS or IDMC, because XML is going to be the powerful concept, especially when we talk about any web-based operations, which is, yeah. Now let us talk about whatever data that we have under XML is part of structured or not. So that's a question, right? To answer that, answer is what? Yes. Why it is yes? Let me give one example. From that, we can think whether it's structured or not. We all know that XML follows what? Tree form or hierarchical form. For instance, let's say we got a root element, then followed by we got a child, then followed by we got a grandchild, then under that we could able to see key value pairs. For example, key let's say C1 and corresponding value, let's say 1, 2, 3, and include this particular tag. So likewise, we can have n number of what you call attributes or column attributes over here. Yeah. Now let us say we got child, which is getting closed here. Then we've got, let's say, root, which is getting closed here. So this is a simple example when it comes to what XML file. Now tell me, just by looking at this particular XML data, can we say that it's structured or not?
Yes.
Yeah, first, fantastic. Yeah, answer is yes. Why? The reason is what? See, in XML is what? It's a language. Yes or no? Which is a markup language, extended markup language. Yes or no? Yeah. And every language will have what? Predefined instructions. Yeah. And what is that instruction that would be followed as part of this particular sample data? That's a question mark, right? Answer is what? XPath. XPath means XML path. Yeah? So now, what is that XML path that we follow as part of this particular sample data? Simple. Path means what? It's a navigation from top to bottom or bottom to top or any from anywhere to anywhere. That we all know, right? It's a simple navigation or a traversal to reach to the destination. Yes or no? Now, in this
Yes.
particular example, what is XPath here? We need to traverse from root, which is the
Child
top,
to this. Yeah.
exactly, child, GC,
Grandchild,
then
then
followed by C1, so that we could able to pull value corresponds to C1. Yes or no? So this is going to
yes.
be the X path. For a given X path, we could pull what? Corresponding particle value, which is 1, 2, 3. Clear? Yeah, Umar and Sarika.
Yes.
So that's it. This is how now from this we can say that anyway this follows what some predefined instructions. As a result, we can say that this is also structured data. But some people would say that it's a semi-structured. Why? The reason is what? If so data which is kept in different layers or levels. For example, one level we have seen C1, right? Other level, let's say here C2. C2 and value could be anything. Yeah? Let's say triple two. Yeah. And some other level, let's say we have, let's say C3. Yeah. So which is so some other data, right? Whatever. So now if the data which is expressed in this particular form, which is in different levels, then we can say that's a semi-structured, but ultimately structured only. Yeah, because as long as you could able to pull the data with a given input specification, then we can say that it is part of what? Structured data. That's it. Yeah. So now tell me, if you want to pull or if you want to get the value corresponding to C2, what is the export that we need to follow here? Same root
Yeah.
Child,
Root.
yes,
eight
grandchild.
Yeah.
C2. Correct, right?
Grandchild and C2. Yeah. No,
Now,
grandchild.
grandchild is not required here because,
Yeah, yeah, it's closed. Yeah, it's closed. So,
yeah, it is at first level itself. Let's say this is a level
yeah.
one. Yes or no?
Yes,
No,
yes.
this is a level one, and this is going to be level two. Yes or no? Level three we talked about already, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
in this level we have it. So we can specify only path to that level only. This one. So we can get it. Similarly, to get this particular C3, what we should do here? Just root followed by C3.
C3.
That's it. You'll get this value. That's it. So this way, we could pull the data from anywhere in XML just by specifying what? XPath. So XPath is part of one of the instruction in XML. That is why whatever data that we have under XML is part of what? Structured data. That's it. Likewise, you can think of many example data from Excel sheet or whatever. Yeah. So that's enough, right? Now let us talk about application oriented. Yeah. So what is application, guys? It's a process. What is a process? Program under execution. What is a program? Set of logical instructions. Yes or no? So now whatever data that we have on our application, if you want to read it, we have to have a connector. Yes or no? So that we can
Yes.
connect to that particular application, then start pulling the data. Example, in this particular application, broadly speaking, we can have what? Two categories. One is going to be predefined application, and second is a custom defined application. If you say predefined application, then for example, let's say we have got SAP, we got PeopleSoft, and so on. CBell, any CRM application, whatever, right? They're all part of what? Pre-built or predefined applications. So in this case, we need to first install what this, let's say, SAP connector. Then once you install this SAP connector, then you'll have either graphical user interface or command line interface. Once we have this interface, we can supply the inputs like module name, username, password, functionality, all that. From that, we could able to pull or read the data from the specified inputs. That's it. Yeah. So this way we could able to get the data from pre-built applications. Yes or no? Now, the next question is what? Custom. So custom means, let's say anything and everything cannot be supported by what any pre-built applications, right? In that case, we need to start building our own application, which we call custom application. Yes or no? Custom app or custom application. So this particular custom application can be built by using what? Either Java or Python or any other programming language, C, C++, whatever. Remember that. So, but preferably, if you take any Informatica product, right, like Power Center or Informatica Cloud or IDMC, whatever, right? So they all have been built by using what? Java. So Java, if you try to build our application by using Java, so then no wrappers are required. If you build it by using Python, we need to convert this Python to what? Informatic understandable format. That's where wrappers are required. Yeah. But preferred language is what? Java. Fine. That's fine. So let's say we have built, let's say, some simple Java, use sum.java to calculate sum of n natural numbers, right? I repeat, let's say we are going to calculate what? Sum of n natural numbers. Yeah. So to do that, we need to write a code. So like in Java, anyway, we don't need to think this much, but I'm trying to show like uh, so we can start public static void main. I know any programming language. So here we can write some method, yeah, which takes integer n, then start what I call so writing the code. Yeah. So let's say here return so n into n plus 1
I'm sorry,
by
instructor. I would just like to check if we can. I know, I mean, we are going through into deep, but is it possible if we can share the actual curriculum that you will be going over during this training? I really wanted
oh,
to see what are the topics that we will be covering in the.
sure. I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. So to answer that, so can you see here? Fine. So this is going to be what's sum of natural numbers. Likewise, you can also think what other categories. Yeah. Let me show that what will be covered as part of this. Yeah. So the first and foremost thing that life cycle, which I was trying to talk, then followed by why this particular Informatica Cloud follows what IPOS, which is Informatica Platform as a Service. Yeah. So just like what providing the introduction to Informatica Cloud or Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services. In short, we call it as IICS. Clear, right? Then we will talk about Informatica Cloud terms that we use before we get into what we call understanding Informatica Cloud hands-on sessions, right? Yeah. Then followed by Informatica Cloud architecture, like what are the different components that we have and how those components will talk to each other. Yeah. Asset is one of the term that we use within this Informatica Cloud for CDI, which is Cloud Data Integration. And we are going to talk each of those assets with practical examples. And we also have got another term which we call components, and all the components we are going to see with practical examples. After that, we are going to see what we call like different features that are supported as part of Informatica Cloud. So let me try to show like what is a service that we need to start to get into this Informatica Cloud. So we have got Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. So this is already started. So if it is not started, we need to start. So one of the agent, I'll talk about what is the agent, what is secure agent, and how it's going to help us as part of architecture. Fine. So that's it. That's the first module. Any questions on this?
No, that's fine.
I have a question. Like, are you going to help us install this IICS, the
Yes.
software?
Yes. So we are going to install this on your system. So
And
that will be used for hands-on. Yeah.
okay, because actually I had installed already Informatica and that somehow it's not working. So I have to like clean my laptop and then make it ready for the this IICS installation. So
Yeah, we'll do that, sir. Yeah.
okay, yeah, thank you.
So, so I'll make sure that this.
So we will have the lifetime, like the access. How long that access is going to be? Is it going to be revoked after a few time, like after a couple of months, or
Yes,
how long that
we'll be
access will
using
be?
trial version, Omar, which will be valid for 30 days. After that, we can always get it extended. How to do that, I'll talk about it as well.
Okay.
Oh, the software we can access only 30 days.
Yes, by default
Okay,
30 days, but we can get it extended. How, I'll talk about it. Yeah?
okay.
Fine. Then, likewise, you'll go with what other modules like runtime environments that we have within this Informatica cloud and different connections supported here. And we'll talk about some of the connections with practical examples. Yeah. So, what is the runtime environment and what all runtime environments supported here? Then we'll talk about agent architecture. Like we just started one agent, right? So, we'll talk about the architecture. Then in case if we get some problems within this IICS, right? So we have to have way to fix those issues. Yeah. To fix it, we need to have some log files. What are those log files that I'm going to talk? Like in Power Center, you guys should have used session log or for administration, we got service related logs and core logs, all that we would have seen it, right? Same way, here also we have got logs and which are not to troubleshoot the issues. Yeah. Yeah. Then we are going to talk about connections through which we can get or we can pull the data from appropriate source systems, or we can push or we can write data to relevant target like a file or table or application, whatever. Yeah. So in this IICS, we are going to see what are the different connections or connection types supported here. Yeah. So then we can see how those connection types will be used in order to pull the data. We'll talk about some practical examples. Yeah. So any questions on this? So we'll talk about this, then followed by hands-on. So for every module, right, we'll talk about theory, then followed by hands-on. This is what is the procedure that I usually follow. I hope it is fine, right, to both of you.
Yeah, that is fine.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, Sarika?
yes.
Yeah, fine. So same thing, we'll go with what same procedure for other module where we are going to focus on a task. We'll talk about what is a task and why do you need this task and why we need to get into synchronization task in other tasks also. So those things I'm going to talk from just to get an overview, then followed by what it does, then what are the source and target that we have and other capabilities. All that we are going to see, including scheduling and monitoring part, and see what kind of benefit that we get it with a practical example. Yeah. So we are going to see this with a practical example. Yeah. Fine. So that's going to be the module 3. Then we'll talk about see this is 8 hours thing actually. So I give actually corporate trainings. So this content is designed based on corporate training. But anyway, so we are going to spend less time for this online, right? Like 1 or 2 hours per day. So we'll have to break it up accordingly. Yeah, fine. So and then we'll go with what how to perform practical examples for synchronization tasks. So then followed by what do we do as for the pre and post operations? Yeah. So then we'll get into our practical examples for each of the transformations. So like you can see all the transformations, right? So I'm going to talk all of them. Some are not listed here, but I'll talk about all the features supported by IICS data integration. Fine. So that's a plan. Then we have some cleanse transformation, rule specification, verified. These are part of data quality. I don't know whether you learned data quality as part of Informatica or not. Like Power Center, you have got Informatica data quality, right? Where we
No, I
use
have.
Informatica.
No, I have not.
Okay, fine. So in that case, if you want, I'll cover these transformations because they are part of data quality, or else we can skip those transformations. Is that fine to both of Umar and Sarika?
Yeah, actually, yeah. If I want to learn this time.
Fine. And then I'll cover that as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Umar, is it fine?
Yeah, that is fine.
Okay. So then we'll talk about maplets. This concept is similar to Power Center, but the way we do is different in IICS. Yeah? So that's it. So likewise, we'll talk about every transformation with practical examples. Yeah? So that's about transformations part. Now, parameterization. Power Center, we have got mapping parameters, mapping variables, and supplying the values to the parameter runtime by using a file, right? Yeah. So all that
Mm-hmm.
we talk about as part of Power Center, right? All you'll be knowing it. Same way in IICS, parameters much better than Power Center. In Power Center, 100% of parameterization cannot be accomplished. But whereas in IICS or Informatica Cloud, we could able to achieve 100% of parameterization, like source, target, any transformation. You can have this parameterization applied. Yeah. So, but yes, source, target, we could do it in Power Center, but transformation level parameterization, 100% it can't be done, but partially it can be done. But here we could do that with 100% of parameterization. That's one of the beautiful feature that we have within this IICS, like in and out parameters and file, how do you do it? And without file, how do you take care of parameters? All such things will be discussed in detail with practical examples. Yeah. And once you are done with that, then we'll start getting into what macros, where we can build predefined expressions or predefined what you call mathematical formula, which can be taken as a base in order to perform some other activities, which can take place by using simple expression macro or by using what dynamic linking. Yeah. So that we are going to see over here. Then we have got another task which we call application task, where we can make a copy to different destinations, like let's say India to Gulf country, or it could be US, it could be Germany, whatever, right? We want to maintain multiple copies so that we don't lose data, right? Because of any natural calamity issues could take place. So those things we can get it resolved by using our application. So how do you achieve application? So and how to make a multiple what you call applications? All that we are going to see as per application task. And masking, so in tail version, we do not have what you call license to perform hands-on for this, but I'll talk about it with theoretically and practically. I'll try to show the navigations, but we cannot run and see the result. Yeah. So, and then we have mass ingestion task to process very large volume of data. This also we don't have a license, but yes, theoretically I'll talk about it, and practically navigations part I'll show it. We cannot run it here also. Yeah. So then we'll talk about task flows. Like in Power Center, you have got workflows, right? So same way task flows we have it, but it is much more than Power Center. Yes, I'll talk about all of them, like different types of tasks that we have, which will be used to run the task flow in parallel or sequential, right? All that we are going to see with practical examples. Yeah. Then advanced concepts like with respect to what primary key and also SQL override, that also we are going to say it. And then we have a hierarchical data, what you call processing, where we can read the data, linear data, which will be converted to hierarchical data, and vice versa. we can read hierarchical data, which will be converted to linear data. Apart from that, in case if you want to start processing web-based operations like a request and response from any portal application, how do you do that? That we could take care by using what? Web service transformation. That we are going to talk about it with practical examples with by considering WSDL, which is sorry, web services transformation or web services definition language. Yeah. So likewise, I'm going to talk about every module with practical examples. So like intelligent structured model, where we can talk about how do we convert unstructured to structured data, where we build a model and start discovering it and get this structured format. From then on, we can start getting it transferred to any other media by using what? Structure pattern transformation. That we are going to see with practical examples over here, right? Then, see, we all know that if something goes wrong, how do you troubleshoot it? To do that, we got exception handling, where we are going to talk about different pre-built exceptions, user different exceptions, and so on, and see how they are going to help us in order to take care of error handling, exception handling, or fault handling. Yeah. After that, we are going to see performance tuning techniques because see, once you build either task flow or a task or a mapping or a transformation, right? How do you make sure that it is well optimized? So that's where we need to understand what bottlenecks and see how are we going to resolve those bottlenecks as part of this particular IICS. To do that, there are several performance tunables that are supported by IICS. All of them, I'm going to talk about it with practical examples. Yeah. So then we have got what you call monitoring features like what we have in Power Center, right? So those things also we are going to see with practical examples. Yeah. Then administrative activities like how to take care of user group roles and the organization level, sub-organization level, and see how are we going to protect multiple capabilities that we have within this ISCS from outsiders. So then we have got sign-on, single sign-on, which will be accomplished by using separate language, which we call Security Assessment Markup language. That I'm going to talk. I'll try to show the navigations, but we cannot do it practically because of license restrictions. Yeah? And apart from that, I'll talk about some extra concepts, like how are we going to perform migration from Power Center to IICS and vice versa. Yeah. So most of the customers, sorry, they are trying to migrate from Power Center to IICS. So that we are going to see some practical examples so that you'll understand like what are the critical steps that need to be considered while performing the migration. These are the topics that we cover as part of IACS data integration. Any questions on this?
No, that is fine. So can we quickly go over that the architecture? I mean, if you can please open up that console, the IICS, and go over the basic components that are available.
Okay. So yeah, architecture, just to start, I'll just give broader perspective here. So okay, IACS. Okay. Fine. So now, first thing we need to, before we get into practical examples, right, are to look at the interface, right? We need to get in. We need to start this agent, which is Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. Yeah. So yeah, before I get there, I'll just try to talk about high-level points over here. Detailing anyway, I'll talk about it from tomorrow. So can you see here, guys? As part of this particular architecture, there are two layers over here. Top portion is going to be the cloud layer, and bottom portion is what on-prem layer, or we can say local layer. Yeah? Now, if you want to transfer the data from on-prem to cloud, we have to have some utility or application or agent. That's where we use what? Secure agent. Secure agent is going to help us in order to transfer data from on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem. Remember that. That's what we can see here. Data path between what? On-prem and cloud. Now the question, before we perform this particular data transfer, we have to have what we call metadata, right? So that's where this particular metadata would be maintained by Informatica, where in Informatica Cloud repository. Informatica Cloud repository is a place where we can store the metadata. That's what we can see here. Bidirectional data line with arrow indicates what? When you build any meta activity like a mapping or a task flow, right? When you save it, it will be saved in Informatica Cloud repository. When you run that particular any task or mapping or task flow, right? Then it is going to pull metadata from Informatica Cloud repository, and accordingly, data transfer would take place from on-prem to cloud or vice versa. This is a simple way to understand what we call two broader layers that we have in this particular cloud architecture. Any questions on this, please?
No, this is fine.
Yeah. So likewise, I'll talk about detailing architecture once we get into what detailing of Informatica Cloud, right? So now, once we know that, the next step is what about this interface? We just have to what start getting into providing the URL. Can you see here? This is a URL that we need to supply to
Okay.
get into this Informatica Cloud. And once you register, right, you will have ID and password. So I've already registered it. So you could able to see the credentials over here. Supply those credentials and then log on to this. Let it come up.
So my question is, how long can you keep extending this license, right? Let's say, because I'm also tired of working, so sometimes I don't get time to practice, right? So how long can we really keep extending this license? Because you are saying it will be for 1 month, and then after 1 month it will be gone, right?
Yes.
Like then
Yes,
we
I'll
keep
talk
access.
about it. Yeah. So I'll talk about it. So we can get it extended by using what? Some other mail ID.
Okay.
Yeah. But how to do that? Any practical, I'll show it, Omar. Fine. So it's coming up. We have to wait for some time because it's a cloud, right? So it has to bring up all the component, all the services offered by Informatica Cloud. That's why it will take bare minimal amount of time to bring up all the services. Yeah. Yeah. So we need to make sure that this agent is up and running. Then after that, see, this is the first and foremost uh, one of the service, data integration service. Likewise, we've got data profiling service, data quality service, administrator service, monitoring service, and so on, right? And now, when it comes to IDMC, in that case, we have got some more services like we got Business 360 and Customer 360, multi-domain, Supply 360, and so on. I don't know whether you are aware of Informatica MDM in on-prem. So once you know that, you can understand these services as part of cloud as well. And that's why you're trying to talk about IDMC, right? Informatica Data Management Cloud. Umar?
Yes, correct.
Yes. So now, so there are multiple services offered here. So we are going to talk about integration plus application integration both. So application integration content, I have not shown it. So we have that separate content for it. Yeah, can you see here? This is the content for application integration. I'll talk about this as well. It's like how we can make multiple applications to talk to each other, like Salesforce with IICS, IICS with Salesforce, or IICS with Amazon, or Google Cloud, or any other portal application, or REST APIs, or RESTless APIs, or simple third-party offered or offered services. How do you talk? All of them we are going to see as part of this particular what you call course. Yeah, or we can also talk about like how messaging would take place with third-party messaging applications like Kafka is one of them, or message queues, or Active. We got multiple third-party message queues. Amazon, I think I already talked about it, and then we'll talk about how to take care of building a process with web services and other what do you call steps. Steps were like a task supported as part of this application integration. Yeah? So these are the different anyway, whatever topics that you can see, right? All of them we are going to see with practical examples. Yeah. If you try to provide your email ID, I'll try to share this course content in chat box. You can just type in your mail ID. Yeah.
Sure.
Fine. Fine. So because you can just look at this course content again and come up with questions and tomorrow so that we can have detailed discussion on that. Fine. So yeah. Now
I don't
then once
access right like to the chat. I'm not sure why. Uh,
oh
yeah.
one second. I don't know whether I have. Oh, there's no
Okay.
chat. Oh, it's
You
here. It's
say
here.
I do see. I have it here. Yes. One
Anyway, I'll
second.
just supply. I am supplying here, so I could just reply to as a mail, right?
Okay. Sure.
So I sent my mail ID. Fine. I think you could be able to see my mail ID, right?
Yes, I was. I just sent you
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Fine. So Sarika, you can also do that. Yeah.
Yes. I'm not
Yeah.
getting the
So,
not getting the control to write.
but
Uh,
Umar could able to see. Just reply to that
yeah, yeah,
my message.
yeah. I got it. I got it.
Okay. Good. Okay. Good. So I got that. Fine. Yeah. So let's come out from that. So yeah, I'll just share it anyway. So now can you see, right? So these are the tasks. I'm going to cover all of them. See, all are not listed as part of course content, but I'll make sure that all are covered here. Like mapping task is not there. These two are there anyway. These things are not there. So I'll talk about all of them anyway, though they are not listed. Then we are going to talk about how to build a mapping. Within each mapping, you'll have what multiple transformation source, target, aggregator, all that. So we are going to see a list of transformations supported here, right? We are going to see all of them and see how it is going to work. And then we will also talk about maplets, like how to build a maplet, how to build task flows, how to build components, different components supported here, right? This is the one service. Then other service will be application integration, right? And where we are going to see like how one can build what we call a service or service connectors or application connection plus process steps or guide steps. So all that we are going to see in order to make multiple applications to talk to each other. That is a high level perspective of this particular training program. Umar and Sarika. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
here you
good.
can see. Yeah, all of them I'm going to cover with practical examples. Fine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a plan for this particular training program. Yeah. So
And
anyway,
are we
this
recording?
let's,
We will be sharing all these trainings, right? The recorded
yes,
videos.
yes, yes. Every day you'll have
Oh,
recording access, so you can just play and start getting into hands-on.
correct. I just want to focus one thing, like bring it because it's a holiday season. I don't have much burden right now, yes, but going forward as we come to the new year, there is a work coming up. So the only reason why I'm asking is because I will be busy with the work. So maybe I would not have much time to practice on our daily basis, right? So what I'm
Yes,
planning is practice, watch these videos over again, and then have a tool to practice on, right, on the weekend. So or as per my time allows. So I really want to have access to these videos and the tool as well. So whenever I get time, I will start, keep practicing, create my own mappings and task and all these things to just so
yes, fantastic.
yeah, only request is I should be having access to these videos and the application like the Informatica IICS like most of the time. Is it like, do we know how long is that gonna be active for?
So you'll not have any restriction on that. You can access,
Okay, perfect. Thank
and
you.
tool access also, both tool and recordings. If you have these
Oh,
two things, right, you can practice
yeah.
anytime, like weekends, or Saturday, Sunday, whatever, right? So whenever
Okay.
you get a free time, yeah.
Is there any prerequisite I should have the like as Informatica Power Center? We
That's
have to
more than
have
enough.
all.
See,
Do we?
yeah, if you have database knowledge, that's more than enough. If you have Power Center knowledge, it's going to be an added advantage.
What I'm saying is, in terms of installation, do we need to install it any on-prem database, like any database on our machine, in order to access it? Because
Yes,
I
yes,
do not
yes.
have any database installed right now.
We can install it. Let's say MySQL, Oracle. How? I'll talk about it anyway. That's very
No, I
simple.
can install it. It's not a problem. I'm just asking so that I will be ready with the everything.
Yes, you can install MySQL or Oracle, whichever database you are comfortable. Yeah.
I will install Oracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll also go for Oracle also.
Yeah. So you can install Enterprise Edition, Oracle 11G R2. Then we can use that as a source or so target. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, definitely. And Sagarika, for your, I think if the Power Center is not working, probably your
Yeah,
database account, the repository account that you created, the user in database, that might have expired. So you have to reset your password, repository password, and then
I
you.
did tried it. I did tried it because with my previous instructor, but something happened. I don't know. It is coming in a very small icon kind of thing. I'm not able to open anything, and then the instructor did something, and then now he's out of my reach, so I can do anything. I have to erase everything, and then I have to install.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Sagarika, it's not anyway. Power Center is almost obsolete. So now we need to get into cloud side. So we'll focus on ISCS because so whatever you have done in Power Center, right, all of them can also be done in ISCS also. So you can just ignore that, Sagarika. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, better. I'll just erase everything, and then I'll make the laptop
Those
ready
days
for
are
the.
gone. See, on-prem days are gone. Now everybody
Yeah.
is talking about Informatica. Well, not only Informatica, cloud could be for processing or for storage, whatever, right? So we need to stress towards cloud with AI, which is artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, that's what while applying for job, most of the interviewer asks for if you have any ISS knowledge or something. So actually,
Exactly.
I'm very, I'm literally struggling for the power center, and then they asked me so many questions on ISS. So I thought, okay, because I don't have any real experience, so I have to
Actually,
put
you
at
would have
least.
not learned Sagarika. This power center is not required actually. Nowadays,
Okay,
power
but
center,
at least because I learned power center, I can little bit familiar with the words. Otherwise, I have an out of touch with my study
yeah,
last 14, 15 years. So so at least now I can understand whatever you're telling. Otherwise, it is difficult for me to process things.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's added advantage. If you have it's added advantage, but it's
Yeah,
not mandatory.
and for Umer, it's like it's kind of easy to grab because he's working now, and then he can correlate quickly. For
Yes,
me,
yes.
it'll take more time. That's okay, but yeah, I mean, let me just start.
Yeah.
At least.
If you are okay, right, what we could do, Umer and Sagarika, so we can
Mm-hmm.
spend longer hours on
Mm-hmm.
weekends, if you
Mm-hmm.
are okay, or else we can have daily 1 hour. So it's a flexible, so we can plan based on your comfort. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not time bounded or whatever days bounded, whatever, right? So it's not, there's no
Mm-hmm.
restriction at all. It's a flexible. We can plan
Mm-hmm.
it based on your comfortness. Yeah,
May I know, Umar, which zone are you in? Like time zone?
Indian
I'm the Eastern
IST.
time.
I didn't get it.
I'm in the Eastern time zone.
Oh,
I- I-
Eastern time zone. Okay, yeah. I think he's 1 hour ahead of me.
Yours
So
Sagarika or yours
when
PST? Yeah,
CST, yeah, CST. Yeah,
PST. Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
which means
I mean, I'm fine with weekend, but in the daytime it's fine, and not in the evening and not in the early morning. So maybe in the middays, I'm
I am
okay.
okay. I am from India, right? So Indian night time, okay. For you guys, it will be daytime.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I'm okay with that. So in a
I
sense,
think
all Saturdays.
we can create a WhatsApp chat and just keep confirming our time
Yes, yes, yeah. That
maybe
will
on
be.
a daily
Yeah.
basis and see if there is fine. If you want to fix any specific time, any every day at
Mm-hmm.
night time on during the weekdays, I think it is fine. But for the weekends, we have to really collaborate each other just to.
Yes. No, no, no. I mean, we are at least 12 hours or before we have to decide the time, Otherwise, it's a last run time we cannot decide because he's
Definitely,
from
yeah.
India, right? So,
No, I understand, but this is what I'm saying. Like before, even like maybe we can decide whether we are going to have anything. Maybe on a Friday, we can decide if we are going to have a meet, like any class on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday.
sure, sure.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I think Friday we can decide that. That's a good idea. So now
Mhm.
let us say 6 a.m. IST means 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
So I've just typed it here. You can see, right? So
yes.
6 a.m. is 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Central time 1 hour less or more,
6:30.
6:30
Yeah,
or
6:30 p.m. 6:30
6:30, right?
p.m.
So which means we
Mhm.
can plan it at 6 a.m. IST, right? For both of it, is it okay?
Actually, my kids have classes. I am only free after like 8:15. Earliest is 8:15. Because
Okay,
they have everyday classes. I have two daughters. They go to taekwondo class every day. So it
okay.
finishes by 7:45 and it takes me 15 minutes to come back home. So
I
8:15 or
think
8:30.
yeah, 9 it will be like 9:30 Eastern time, right? Around.
Yes, yes. So little bit, I mean, let them go. And this week, like next week, we have vacation till 8th of January. So, like, no, I'm free in the daytime also, but I don't know, is working, so he's not the
Which
daytime
means
free.
from
So,
tomorrow we can have 6 a.m. That's what I mean, right? How about Umar?
6 a.m., 7:30. I also have kids. They also.
yeah, no, actually, it is the time, today's time is perfect for me. 8:30
Yeah,
is,
yeah, I'm also comfortable with 9:30 because kids go to bed and so do we plan to how long is this training going to be last? Like I know the
It
actual.
will be around 20 to 25 hours. So let's say around 20 hours. So probably we can spend, yeah, fine. So 1 hour per day. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what I was planning, maybe if it is like 25 hours, it will take 5 weeks, right? So maybe
Right.
like every weekday we can go from like Sunday our time and it will be Monday morning yours. So Monday to Friday your time, and it will be like for us it will be like Sunday to Thursday. Like today is the last day.
Yes.
Exactly the same way. We don't really have to really worry about weekends because I'm not sure if weekends we can always collaborate. We can always talk about it, and I'm open for that. If in case I have time, we can definitely jump on a call and get our session done. But just asking, like
Yes. You said it correctly, actually. So weekdays we'll plan. So let's say 8 a.m. IST. So which is uh,
9:30.
9:30
9.
p.m. Right? Yours. Yes. So yeah.
Yes.
So like today, right?
8
We'll
a.m. is
plan
fine.
it.
Yeah, 8 a.m. is fine for me. Yeah, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, IST means mine is 8:30. p.m. So that will be fine, and that is the earliest. Even while talking to Vamsi, who arranged the classes, as he said me it's 9:30 CST, but then sorry 9 p.m. CST. But then he said you can talk to the instructor. But then I can understand like Umer will be late, for because he's 1 hour ahead. So let's keep today's time, whatever is it is perfect for all of us.
I think Umar, it's okay for you, right? At same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
like what?
9:30 is fine for me. 9:30 Eastern time is fine for me. Yes, and only the weekdays I think we should be
Yeah,
okay.
only for weekdays. Yeah, yeah.
Monday to Friday, which is IST, which is for you Sunday to Thursday
Thursday.
evening.
Thursday. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
So yes, so weekends, yes, as you said, we'll talk about it. If you have free time, we can talk. We can have it, or else we can just skip it out.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay then. Thank you very much to both of you. I think now it's a weekend, right? Tomorrow, day after. So we'll start
Yes.
from Monday morning. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
will start from Sunday then. Sure.
yeah. Make a WhatsApp group, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. I'll just share this course content, and you'll have your email address. Fine. Yeah.
Thank you. Sure.
Okay.
Thanks
Thanks
a
to
lot.
all, guys.
Sure.
I,
Thank you.
I forgot to ask your name.
Oh, no. I think you have seen my email already, right? Narsimha Reddy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh,
NRK
Narasimha Reddy. Yeah,
Narsimha Reddy is my
yeah,
email,
yeah.
ID, right?
Okay, okay,
Yeah, my name is. You can just call me Narsimha or Reddy, whatever, whichever comfortable.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Reddy is quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whichever you are comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.